Hey there, it's Jen, and I'm bringing you a layout today for the Pink Paislee blog all about friendship. That's what we're focusing on this week. And so what I've done is gone through a bunch of supplies and picked out all the things that I think might work for this. There's a bunch of die cuts in here and some stickers, and I pulled a few papers that kind of go along with my photo. This is my best friend CJ, and she is the most awesome thing ever, and so I want to do a layout about her today. And then I'm just going to use this pink ledger paper as a background. This is paper number 20 from the new Pick-me-up collection by Paige. And then I've just got some scraps. So this is from the Pick-me-up collection as well, and then this is a 6x6 piece of paper from the Wild Child, the girl version of the Wild Child paper pad. So I'm starting with that, and I will put you on fast forward and let you know how we are going to put this together. Okay, I'm going to start off by just apologizing for my voice. I'm trying to get over a cold, so please excuse me for that. I'm just straightening up this piece of paper. I mentioned it was a piece of scratch paper, and it was just cut out randomly. It wasn't straight at all, so I just trimmed that up, and then I took off the branding strip from that cloud paper. I love that cloud paper, and as I mentioned before, that's from the Wild Child collection. And what I've done is pulled out a bunch of things that have to do with friendship. Most of what I used comes from the new Pick-me-up collection. These chipboard stickers come from that, and there were the words love and friendship on that chipboard, and I love those. And I'm just going to add the word our in the center using the little thickers in white. And so I love that I could make that easy title. And I have wax paper out because I always use wax paper when I'm doing my titling, so I can move it around if I want to before committing. So here I'm just going through all the die cuts I pulled out, and right there to the right I was thinking of placing a bunch of words that could describe her, but it wasn't quite working out for me. I wasn't liking the way it was looking, so I just ditched that idea. So I'm looking again at the chipboard icon stickers, and I decide that I'm going to put flowers on here. Now I thought maybe I wouldn't because CJ's not really a floral kind of girl, but this is my layout, and so I'm just going to make it however I want. And she liked it anyway when I was done. So I'm thinking I want to put flowers in 3 places, and I put them on the corners of the photo, but I don't know where I want to put the third one. I'm thinking I'm going to have another cluster on the background paper to the right. So I just kind of lightly place that there. So I don't put anything down. I'm just lightly placing things. So here I'm using some of the floral rub-ons because I want to get some dimension going. I like that the chipboard stands up a little bit, and then the rub-on will be flat to the background, so it just kind of gives it that layered look, and I think it will look pretty cool. So I'm gonna start. Oh, this is I forgot I did this. I was thinking I might want to rip the bottom edge of that paper just for a little added interest, but I hated it immediately. So I'm looking through to find the second sheet. Luckily I used the 6x6 paper pad, and it has 2 sheets of this paper in it, and boy, I did not like the way that looked. But what I am going to do is just distress the edges using my fingernail. That's what I usually do, and I think that's just the easiest way for me. And I'm making it so that some of the areas lift up a little, or are a little bit more dimensional than others, like they have a bigger tear kind of. And I put that down the wrong way. That I wanted to have a little bit of this paper poking out on the side and the photos poking out on the right. So I'm making a mat, but that doesn't mean that it has to go around the entire photo. So I'm putting my photo up on just the right hand side up on some foam squares because I did that distressing. It made it need to stand up a little bit more on that side. And now I'm going to lightly place my title, and I made sure that the word friendship could go over the photo. And if you notice, I made it so that the words where they kind of come up, that there's not any kind of awkward spaces. So above the word, all you see is that pink and that cloud paper, and below it all you see is the photo. I didn't want a line going through the middle of the word. I don't know if that makes sense, but that was kind of what I was thinking. And I wanted the word love to fit within that blue space, so I made that work. And now I'm trying to do the rub-ons here, and I
I'm messing the rub-ons up a little bit. You'll see more in a second. I like touched it with my finger and then part of it came off. And these rub-ons are nice and they're easy to stick down. So just be careful not to touch it. You'll see me struggle here. Oh, maybe it was the first one that I struggled with. I'm just using my fingernail to put it down because they come off pretty easily. And I'll do one at the top as well. And I just like, again, like I said, I like the dimension that gives, just kind of the layered look of flowers that there are some behind and some in front. And I think it adds a little something. And now I'm thinking, what do I want to do for my journaling? Where am I going to put it? How am I going to do this? I thought I could do it directly on the background, which I could, but I'm still thinking about it. So while I'm thinking about it, I'm just grabbing some hearts and different embellishments that I feel like I could layer up to make this page work for me. I found that heart on the bottom, that was a die cut, and then I put the word friends. That's from the Puffy stickers from the Wild Child collection. I've put that on top of it. So I'm looking to do something similar in the top left side of the page. And as I was looking through all of those die cuts and journaling spots from the pick-me-up collection, I pulled out that gold one and I am going to place it to the right of my photo and do my journaling on that. And so I'm looking through just all of my different die cut packages here, and I love that word beautiful. That's again from the Wild Child collection, and the part at the top that says "You are my rainbow," I'm going to include that as well. So the Wild Child collection and the pick-me-up collection worked really well together for this. So sometimes I get in my mind that I need something really specific, and I have to go through every single thing before I find what I'm looking for. And this was kind of one of those times. I needed something and I couldn't make up my mind, so I just went through things over and over again. Do you guys do that? I find sometimes I do it and sometimes I just find something that's good enough and stick it down. So I don't know. So I'm still thinking about how I want to get something large to the left of the word love that will mimic the heart at the bottom that says, that has the word friends on it. And so I'm looking through the 6x6 paper pad to see if there's anything maybe I could cut out from the cut apart sheets or something like that. And I'm just not finding anything. And I'm thinking, well, maybe I can punch something out, like a heart out with using the 6x6 paper pad. So I have my heart punch there. And I am going to punch on this kind of ombre looking paper. And I want it to look like the heart at the bottom. So that one that I punched is a little dark. I'm going to go ahead and punch a lighter one. Since that paper fades, I'm going to be able to get a lighter color as well. I thought maybe the clouds would be cute punched, but it looked really not great. So I'm sorry I punched into that paper. So here you can see I'm just punching out a lighter version, and I like that more. And now I feel like I can keep on embellishing now that I've found that heart I want. I'm just looking for something to place on top of it, and I couldn't decide what I wanted. I found this Puffy sticker that says hello, and so I put that on there because there's a Puffy sticker on the bottom one. So I'm just kind of, trying to mimic things across the span of the layout, and that helps everything to feel a little bit more cohesive. So I'm starting to glue things down. I put the heart up on foam squares, and now I'm going to glue down my journaling spot and just kind of make sure everything is going the way I want it to. So I'm going to glue down the word beautiful just with some regular adhesive, rolling adhesive. And then I'm looking for something else that I can stick at the top. So I feel like I need a couple more hearts, and I didn't know if I liked the colors that I had chosen or the way I was going. Right now there's a gold heart next to the word hour. I wanted to fill that space with something, so a heart seemed logical. And so it's sitting there for now. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to use this heart, one strip of hearts from the 6x6 paper pad, pick-me-up paper pad, and I'm just going to cut the bottoms so that you can see the bottom shape of the heart, so there's not that white border. And I'm going to place it as the top as a border with the top part hanging off so I can just trim it. And you'll see how that looks in a second. I thought about using the branding strip from the top of the 6x6 paper pad, but I didn't love it. I do end up using this little strip of paper that I cut from the heart paper just next to the photo. I felt like it gave it a little pop, and it looks like a scallop, so I really liked that. I'm still trying to work in that 6x6 branding strip, but I decided not to use it. You'll see it in a minute. But I'm going to go ahead and glue down my heart banner, or my row of hearts, I guess. And then I'll trim the back. I'll trim the extra off the back. And I'm also going to trim that chipboard piece from the side. And I'm using my Tim Holtz scissors there because they just work really well for more heavy kind of cutting jobs, I guess. I don't know. I'm adding a little bit of extra adhesive to the chipboard because I've been playing around with it and it's lost a little bit of its sticky. And I placed that foam, or that heart, up on foam, just like the one at the bottom. And I'm just kind of I decided to take it to the sewing machine. I love the way this ended up looking. I wanted to add some detail without adding more stuff to the layout, and so I'm just pulling the threads through to the back here so I can tape them down. So I sewed through the word beautiful. I sewed like a messy sewing on that blue piece of paper behind the photo. I did some messy stitching on I did some stitching on the top row of hearts, and I really like the way the stitching turns out. So here I have a little tape dispenser I got from the dollar spot at Target, and I keep washi tape in there because I always use washi tape to tape down the back, like the threads on the back of my photo, or the back of my layout, sorry. So here I'm committing to some of the hearts, and I want to add some more at the bottom, and I need to think about whether I like the way the top looks. So I'm just adding extra adhesive to the hearts as well. And now I'm going to do my journaling, and I think before that I was shaking some Heidi Swapp Gold Color Shine. I will bring that in as well later. So here I'm just writing why my friend is so awesome and how grateful I am that she is in my life, and we are like sisters. We are so close, and I love her. So I definitely will be making lots of layouts about her, but I encourage you to make a layout about someone that you love, a friend. Sometimes we forget about our friends when we're scrapbooking. We document our family, but not always our friends. So I think it's important because she's important in my life. And anything that's important, a relationship with food, a relationship with like a certain piece of furniture, a relationship with a friend, whatever, document it. So I stamped my date in that space on the journaling card, and I'm trying to figure out what I can fill the space to the right of it with. And I thought about this pick-me-up sticker, because she is definitely a pick-me-up in my life, but it doesn't quite work in that space, but I'm still going to try to work it in on the layout, and I end up putting it where it is now. It will stay there, and I'm that little tiny flower I just placed down at the top left, I moved that around from cluster to cluster. I couldn't decide where I wanted it, if I wanted it, but it stays where it is now. So here I'm trying to add some like word strip stickers, just for a little bit of something extra, and I'm finally going to trim off the bottom here. I don't usually leave it that long, and I'm going to rough up some of the edges of the things I stitched down, and then I'm going to use a roller stamp with words that make sense on this layout. So I'm just flipping through the different ones that I have to find something I like, and I'm going to stamp it in that space that's next to the date. So I think this is a Chamel one, if I remember right. I'll make sure to link to it. And it just says XOXO. Maybe it's Amy Tan. I don't know. And I just stamped it in kind of a reddish color. And I like the contrast. I didn't want to do it in black because then it would feel like an extension of that date, and I didn't want that. So last thing I'm going to do is add my color shine, just sprinkling it diagonally on the layout, and I loved the way it turned out. I hope that you've enjoyed, and head over to the Pink Paislee blog to see close-up photos of this layout and find out more. And everyone's posting layouts about friendship this week, so be sure to check that out. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed, and I'll see you very soon.